One of the biggest successes and of paramount importance for what Joe Biden has done in this presidency so far is something that has barely made headlines. And it is that Joe Biden has confirmed more judges than Trump, Obama, and George W. Bush at this point in their respective presidencies. It is not the Supreme Court. That's absolutely true. But it is of massive, massive importance. Business Insider and others talking about this, how Biden outdid Trump, Obama, and George W. Bush in confirming federal judges by this point in office, a feat overshadowed by war and inflation, and it has been. Joe Biden has confirmed more federal judges at this point in his tenure than any president since JFK. Biden's court picks have also been the most racially, ethnically, and gender diverse. But his judicial wins have been overshadowed by news of inflation, war, and the FBI Mar-a-Lago search. This is a major, major deal. As of August 8th, which was 566 days into Biden's tenure, the Senate had already confirmed a record-setting 75 judges nominated by Biden to federal courts, according to the Pew Research Center. Trump didn't do that. Obama didn't do that. George W. Bush didn't have those numbers. You have to go back to JFK, who at this point in his presidency, we're talking about the 60s, folks, had confirmed 102 judges. As of August 26th, Joe Biden had gone from 75 to 78, and that includes appeals and district court judges, along with one Supreme Court justice. This is interesting because, I mean, listen, Biden is not incorrectly seen as boring and milquetoast. It's just what it is. In a sense, you could make the case that that's exactly what the country needed to sort of recover from Donald Trump, a guy who every day was ridiculing a disabled journalist, drawing with a Sharpie on a hurricane map. I'm not going to give you the list. I'd have to sit here for 5 hours giving you the list. And when you take a guy who's, you could say the reasons many people didn't like Biden include he's been in D.C. for a generation, and he's not exciting in the sense that certain candidates are. And I want to be careful here because some of these aren't really criticisms, but they were used as criticisms during the primary. Relatively centrist seeming, but actually on paper was the most progressive Democratic nominee that I can remember. I mean, on paper, Biden was to the left of Barack Obama. The things that Joe Biden has done, and there are many criticisms of the Biden administration, without a doubt. I mean, every presidency has criticisms, but quietly forgiving more student loan debt than any president in history, quietly getting more judges confirmed at this point in his presidency than any president dating back to John F. Kennedy. In a sense, you could argue that this was maybe exactly what was needed to get out of or to recover from Donald Trump, someone completely predictable, right? I mean, I kept saying during the primary, all of these people saying Biden's going to be some secret right winger or Biden's going to be some secret communist. Never believable, but the people on the right were saying that no, Biden was going to be a completely predictable center-left Democrat who on paper is the most left-leaning Democratic nominee, at least in many, many decades. And that's what it's worked out to be. And so I can give you my list of the things I would love for Joe Biden to do that he hasn't done. What happened to health care reform? What about decriminalizing cannabis? What about, of course, we can always come up with lists of things we would like presidents to do that they have not done. But it is starting to be remarkable, the amount that actually has been accomplished, and much of it with extraordinarily little fanfare. And I have to say, this isn't like gushing praise. It's just sort of a trait of Joe Biden. He does it without the self-centered bombast of somebody like Donald Trump. And when you expect, because of the Trump era, a president to be tooting his own horn, or you could use, more graphic metaphors than that if you want, about the things that they have accomplished, Trump did it about things he didn't even really do, right? We built the wall. But no, you didn't. What are you talking about? You didn't build the wall. Anyway, because Joe Biden doesn't do that, I think that's part of why many of these accomplishments have been quietly done, and also that stories like Ukraine, inflation, and others have pervaded the news to a greater degree. So I'm as curious as anybody else. Where will Joe Biden's approval be on midterm election day in just 8 or 9 weeks? And what impact will that have on Democrats' ability to hold the Senate and, although it's less likely, potentially hold the House? And we'll update those numbers for you later this week. Remember that this Wednesday, August 31st, 6 p.m. Eastern, we're doing a member-only David Pakman Show Town Hall. This will be limited in terms of participation to our website members. Anybody can watch. It'll be streaming live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook at 6 p.m. Eastern. Only our website members will be invited to participate in this one. And you can add yourself to that exclusive group of people by signing up at joinpakman.com.